Hi, welcome back to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about young people. And well, I'm always talking about young people, I'm always waffling. But today's point is going to be more important. It's going to be about a young man or a young lady. We start to change, most of us, between 9 and 12. A man or a young boy you'll start to see signs of him, of maturity, and you've got to start talking to him. It's too late to be shy. You're not to be shy about these things. This happens time and time again. In school, I get a problem. The last problem I had was a little girl. She went, "Sir?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Sir, I'm bleeding." I said, "What do you mean you're bleeding?" She said, "I'm bleeding." I said, "Oh, no problem. Go see the medic." Anyway, I turned to walk away. She's still there. I said, "What do you mean you're bleeding?" She goes, "Down there." I said, "Oh, that sort of bleeding." Of course, she's 11, 12, she's at her period. And it was quite a traumatic event for her, because what happened was she wasn't aware that she was going to have it. And she had it, and she obviously was uncomfortable. And we had to provide her with pads and whatever. But there should be no need for that to happen. She should be prepared. She shouldn't be walking around the school, going to her lessons without being prepared. Now, boys, another difficult thing with them. Now, you've got to start explaining to the young men, and you've got to start explaining fairly early that there are going to be changes in your body. Now, I know we've got lots of different societies, cultures, languages, everything else, but some cultures have got to get this right. There's no room for being shy. It's a fact of life. This is what's happening. You've got to do something. And there are too many children that are getting in a position where they get caught out. Now, you've got to tell the young man, listen, this is going to change. Okay? Under your armpits, you're going to explain to them that they're going to get hair under their armpits and their private parts. You're going to explain to them that their private parts are exactly what it says, private parts, that nobody should be looking at them. They shouldn't be displaying it openly like some of them do. And the girls is even more important. There are appropriate things to wear and appropriate things not to wear. Now, with girls, it can be a bit difficult, because you know that girls can start developing from the age of 9, which is quite standard these days, and they can start turning into a young woman pretty quickly. So you have to explain to them. Now, I'm not up to date on training bras. I'm really not, but I'm aware these things are about. I'm aware that you can get them. So it's important to say to a girl, look, this is how you start, slowly but surely. Now, we've all got to fight the media. Now, I know what it is about the media, but when you watch like big people's telly, right, and the children do watch it, they sit down and they watch someone flying around naked. That's not going to help them, all right? You got to say to them, guess what? We don't do things like that. It's not what we do. Now, the maturity of a boy really starts off about 12. It's somewhat younger. But you got to explain to a boy, this is the time when you keep yourself to yourself, and you must have a little bit of respect for the opposite sex, because the girls are changing as well, right? I don't think you should treat them different. Boys and girls should not be treated differently, because they can do exactly the same thing. It's just that for the physical side of it, girls do find that quite challenging, and boys have got to be told, guess what? You can't play rough with girls. Now, I've seen it time and time again, where accidents happen, where 12-year-old boys are playing with girls of 12 years old, and the girls of 12 years old will start developing, and they'll hit them in their chests and places, and they'll feel a lot of pain, and they don't understand it. They don't understand it because the parents aren't explaining it to them. Now, the girls have really got to understand periods and what to do about periods, and some of them really don't have a clue about it. And it's up to the parents. Now, boys, you got to explain to the boys about wet dreams. They get to an age where they have a wet dream. What is a wet dream? A wet dream is a release of semen from the body. So he'll be thinking about the opposite sex. He'll wake up and he'll be wet. He'll have a wet dream. Explain it to him. It's nothing to get urgent about. It's just something to say, look, it's quite natural, and it really means that you're getting on and you're maturing. Now, when you have a wet dream, what do? Well, you know what, you explain to him a little bit more. You explain to him how he washes himself and keeps clean. Now, I'm a believer of not only being frank, I'm a believer of being straightforward, and you've got to be straightforward. Too many children are walking around and learning too late. In fact, a lot of them are learning by experiment. An experiment doesn't help because, you know, you can imagine a girl of 11, 12, boys a little bit older, things do happen. It is part of our lives. We have to explain to them, and it's best that they abstain from anything sexual. They'll want to experiment in it. I'll give you an example. You know, any time after 6 o'clock at night, you can see people having some sort of sex on television, and it can get confusing, and it's not very good. So explain to them that, you know what, this isn't quite right. Now, I'm going to keep this short because I've made this a bit long, but I'm going to leave 2 messages to you. You know, if your child is of the age where he's maturing, tell him about sex. You know, the birds and the bees are really straightforward. It's best to come from the parents. It shouldn't come from anybody else. It is a natural thing, right? But all that's natural, I don't agree with some people that, you know what, if they're 12, 13, they can go and have sex. It's not like that. That's sending out the wrong message. Explain to them slowly, surely. If you've got any problems, I've got a couple of leaflets that I can send to you. So, any problems, email me. Any questions, email me, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm going to enjoy this lovely day, by the way, and I hope you do too. Speak to you soon.